We're gonna go into Group D. Group D is Beta, Demon Hunter, Daya, Easy, Kjaos, Relic, Potable, and Sologesang. So we got EMEA's last hopes. EMEA's last hopes. If you're wondering who are these Chinese players, they might seem kind of random. Remember, these are the qualifiers based on this set's performances in tournaments. So if you're watching these Chinese players, these are the best performing Chinese players in set 11 currently in tournaments and on ladder. Then we got Kjaos, Relic from LATAM. Oh, dude, this guy was trying to go Ultra Instincts with his hair. Wild. After this group, we're gonna have Group D. We're gonna have Group D. Or sorry, after this group, we're gonna have the semifinals, and then Group A and B are gonna be playing later tonight. So this is the 8 players. I'm cheering for Kjaos. Kjaos is like America's adjacent. And then Relic, the first player to ever make it to League of Legends and TFT Worlds, he's back. In fact, this tournament actually has relevance. This tournament actually has some relevance back for Relic because last MSI in set 10, they invited Relic to the tournament. And at the time, it was actually controversial because LATAM was like, we're not sending our best players. Relic was like a known player, but to many people, he wasn't a proven player. They're saying, where are the invites for Latin America's best players? You're inviting like, you know, basically the lower tier players. And Relic actually did really well in that tournament and then made set 10 Worlds. So he actually, from the starting point of MSI last set, proved a bunch of people wrong. And now he's back. So if he can qualify again to the next stage, it's actually coming full circle because last TSI, Relic was like a lot of people hated on him. Well, they hated on the invite. They didn't hate on him. A lot of people were like I remember like Black Sheep and all them were like tweeting about it and saying like what, like this is like, you know, very insulting to the player base. I don't think he used that exact word, but he was basically saying like this is just like not very representative and you're making us look bad. These are not the best players. The tournament invites shouldn't come to that. And then Tanner, poor Tanner, got like annoyed because everyone was just yapping so much about like why Relic didn't get an invite. They were harassing him, and then Relic proved them wrong anyways. Potable is like a player who's made it to Worlds before. I don't know if he's taking this set that seriously. Kjaos made it to Worlds in set 10 for the first time. One of the top players from Singapore. Out of all the Chinese players, I would say Easy is the most well-known. He's been competing in a lot of tournaments. I think he's done well in a couple of qualifier cups where he's top 8'd before. I can actually look up his history. And then Sologesang, always rank 1 in EMEA, always pushing rank 1, and many people consider him to be like a top ladder player from EU. He's my brother from another mother. My brother from another German mother. Easy. Easy has let's see. He top 8'd the Summit Cup, one of the Summit Cups this set for China, which is one of the circuit events. He's gotten top 8 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in official circuits and qualifiers. So he's just been a very long time competitor. I'm watching these Angel Hernandez highlights. They're funny as fuck. Yeah, dude, it's actually too comical. Will Clark gave an interview where he said he once bought Angel Hernandez table a round of beer when he saw him in a bar and said hello, and for the rest of his career Angel Hernandez gave him a tiny strike zone. Is that true? Oh man, that is too funny. Bribing the umpires. Is this PB? No, this is on tournament realm. Okay, Potable is loose streak. What doesn't kill you? Ethereal Blade Shen for beta. Since this tournament is the same patch of the cup, how do you feel about the level of America's Cup, at least day 3 compared to this tournament? This is a higher
I'm getting
level.
more dogged again.
I think this is a higher level competition than day 3 of a cup. Because they're taking the best players, the best performing players across the board. Buck Fu, thank you for tier 1. I don't know about the top. I don't know about like if it's like as good as the final lobbies of cups. Like maybe the final lobbies of the America's Cup you could theoretically argue is harder than some groups, but I think pound for pound the player quality is higher in the summit. Isn't it like a mini worlds? Yeah, it's a small version of it for the most part. It's like it's a lot of global competition, the best players. It doesn't have all of them, but it's got a lot of them. Well, actually, let me play on 1.5. Game pace moves a little bit faster, which is nice. What port are they playing here? This one I think is. I think it's like Radiant Blessing. But the thing is, I couldn't tell what it was. Does anybody who read Mandarin, can you tell me what this one is? Like it's either I think it's like Radiant Item or Radiant Blessing. Can't tell. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens for them to tell me. It's Radiant Blessing. Okay. I only recognize like the first couple characters. Okay, long shots. So we can make stone plate here. So Solo is going to be committing most likely to Ash. The one thing about this patch is that the path ability of certain items are like a lot weaker now. Like before, if you slammed IE, you could go into Kaisa, but now many people are not playing Kaisa. Next patch, it should be improved. Wow, Easy is also full open. That means Potable and Easy are both full open. What doesn't kill you? Dude, I love it, man. D-Gen TFT. Easy, full open.
Man,
what doesn't kill you?
Again.
Potable, full open. What doesn't kill you? Soul, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Love 2 month subs. Buckfu says, just started listening to TFT Study Hall, loving it. Hope to get past my highest rank Emerald 2. You can do it. Emerald 2 is basically the same as Emerald 1. And if you're Emerald 1, you pretty much can get to Diamond. You're there. You're right there. Solo lost, unfortunately. He made Stoneplay, but he lost. He put it on like a 1-star rec site. His frontline's too bad. Unfortunate. I want Solo to do well. Someone said that Solo is actually taking this set as seriously as he can for, to try and get good results. Like Solo said, set 11. Like usually he's a very popular streamer in Germany, and so usually he's focused on stream first, and he competes kind of like Soju, right? Like yes, he's a competitor, but also he wants to you know, like ultimately entertain and play a lot of games and make a lot of content around it. But I was told that Solo's really trying hard this set in particular. So I would love to see him. I would love to see those results bear fruit because he is climbing to like rank 1 in EU like all the time. Sometimes multiple accounts in the top 10. Oh, Potable queued into easy and then they reset their streak. Oh, oh man. So they when they tie, they both lose their lose streak. Kiana 2 for Kjaos. Good spot. Who won Group 1? Ego Illusions. Ego Illusions 1, Malala 2. Bintum top 4. When someone says 2 streak, does that mean 2 wins in a row or 5 wins in a row? It means 2 wins in a row. 2 streak is 2 rounds. 2 rounds. What's AEG? I think it's his team. Is it Aegis? Tiniest Titans, what doesn't kill you? Is that too memey? Anything interesting here? A lot of like crowns being offered, but nothing too wild. Venerable Piggy Bank. Baboom. Okay, Baboom with Morello slammed. Interesting. I wonder what he's going to try to go for. Is he going Baboom into Ghostly Zyra? From my understanding, it's not that good, but maybe I need to look up the data. My understanding, Zyra Zoe with Baboom is not that good because you don't cast like as quickly. Let me see. Oh, it's actually horrible. Okay, maybe it's not that comp then. Maybe it's just Syndra. 6 Behemoth with the Behemoth crest. That's good. He got punished for a component. Yeah. So when he got punished for putting components on his units. Now he doesn't have, like, I know you're getting screwed by like not being able to itemize it, but that's part of the reason why you don't really want to slam components unless you absolutely think it's going to swing things or it's like a really important detail that you need to include. Like I don't know. I actually can't really justify that many reasons to slam component. Like to swing fights because you need the extra component. Oh, slamming. Yeah, thank you, slamming. I was gonna say something like scrappy inventions, but that's not a thing this set. These gloves on the bench, but he's just trying to lose streak. He did take lucky gloves, by the way. It's a race to the bottom, the D-gens. Was it Kjaos who got fucked over by alleged match fixing? Yes. Kjaos was also a player who got caught in the mix of Vietnamese target griefing allegations. Vietnamese target griefing allegations. If you guys missed it, it was basically players from Vietnam were collectively trying to stop non-Vietnamese players from hitting their units by holding them on the bench. Kind of dramatic. Jojin Nashers, if you want it. Spatula. Spatula kind of awkward for Ash. Dude, who does Padebo remind me of, man? He reminds me a little bit of Nick Offerman. Like a French Nick Offerman. like this picture of him. Vietnam has a legit problem. They grief and win trade in most games. That is supposedly the case. Also, part of the problem with some of these trials and cups is that it is possible for people to cheat in these tournaments, but it's kind of hard to regulate. I don't think a lot of people are. I just think that it's the potential for the lack of enforcement rules makes it so that it's difficult to tell. Also, this Lee Sin or this Kiana 2 is already almost on her backline. That's scary. Oh, Shen targeted though immediately. Never mind. Genius positioning. It forces the unit to wrap around, and then you can target it second. How on earth do you cheat at TFT? I mean, I don't want to like tell people how, but the simplest way that is most people's is like you get help that you're not supposed to have. Like you could be playing in a game with like let's say someone qualified for Tacticians Cup day number 3, and you're playing in Tacticians Cup number 1 because you're not required to stream or anything like that. You could just have someone technically like playing for you or playing with you. That's cheating. There's been I see players unironically joke about asking other players to log in and play for them. And I don't like that that's like a common way people are joking about the tournament. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Just like you know, here's my info, just like log in. And I feel like they're joking. But like I kind of want to I tell them like don't be an idiot. Don't joke about that kind of stuff. Like yeah. It's like yelling bomb at airport. Like don't actually joke about that stuff. It's you're playing stupid games. Setsuko climbs off stream for soju. No, but I mean that is the joke. But for some people, it legitimately might happen too. Like there's no way to verify. And as the stakes continue to increase, if the TFT prize pool was for millions of dollars, for some people that is life-changing money, they will do anything they can if they can get away with it. Like to them, cheating is about getting caught or not getting caught rather than whether or not it's not supposed to be done. A lot of people, and here's another thing. Here's a question. If you're climbing for snapshots and you're playing in a group call with a bunch of other people who are better than you, and you know they're your friends and they're just like helping you climb snapshots for the final day to qualify for tournaments, is that unethical or not? That's a question that's not defined in the rules, but that's something that a lot of people do. So like that's something that's like hard to. First of all, you can't regulate that. You can't ever technically say like if you're like, I guess you could say like if you're caught doing that, you're in trouble, but like then that becomes like this whole thing. What about streamers, right? Streamers are climbing for snapshots. They're looking at chat. Chat says, hey, like, you know, don't slam this item, or like, hey, you're not playing, you don't have exiles value or something like that. You're getting assistance from chat. And there's all these different things. TFT is also the only game where you could technically compete and like be reading chat, and that's not like a thing that's like legislated against. If you think about it, TFT's played in real time. You could get backseated by chat in real time in tournament, and the argument is, well, chat doesn't help. They're worse than the player, and that's not necessarily wrong. But that's also not the point. The point is whether or not you're even able to allow outside assistance on that front. Because if I'm competing, you guys see who's in my chat. If I'm competing, and theoretically like Dissoap's in my chat, or Kerm's in my chat, or even Demasian Raptors, who's higher LP than me, is in the chat talking about like plays, that could be perceived as me seriously assistant. It's just, all I'm saying is that there's so much like weird gray area / murky water / like unethical boundaries that TFT flirts with in tournaments with Twitch and streaming, stuff like that, and or even just being in calls that no one's exactly figured out, and no one's really talking about it. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard to figure and define those things, because even if you have chat open, you can't like what are you supposed to do? Like do emotes only in chat? Even then, that's not something that you can 100% it's not 100% bulletproof. Anyways, I'm glad I'm not a tournament organizer in TFT. It sounds like a nightmare. Chat can prevent people from missing. Yep, exactly. I thought you couldn't read chat in tournament. I mean, there's no rules technically that are enforcing that. Support item. Moonstone Renewer is really, really good. I think I like Moonstone more than in ages in Duelist. In Brazil, we had to put a 3-minute delay in our streams, but it sucked. Yeah. Like, you don't want to have to put things on delay, but... Yeah. Even remembering champion conference, small stuff, that is true, exactly. Like, getting small tips, like, hey, don't forget about this portal. Don't forget about this augment. Don't forget about this encounter. Like, you know, that kind of stuff could make a difference. Dude, Kjaos went 8th? Duelist went 8th? Oh, no. He even make it to the end of stage 4. Listen, if successfully someone cheats via Twitch emotes, they deserve some sort of award. I mean, you could make it code, like if someone types like bat chesting, you could have it be like check the exalted or something like that. I don't know. Maybe whenever you are doing something, you have like something vibrate. Like maybe an emote is linked to a vibrator as you're like hovering over different units in on your board. I'm not entirely sure. There's all different kinds of things you could do to cheat. I was gonna make that joke. Yeah, it's reference to the Hans Niemann chess controversy. Magnus Carlsen was so convinced that Hans Niemann was cheating over the board, but he didn't know how, and so the prevailing theory was that he was using something to vibrate. And they're like, well, where would he hide it? And so there's only one conclusion that people came to. Most of the stuff I think is more distracting than benefit. I genuinely agree, but all I'm saying is there's right now a slippery slope conversation about what should be allowed in tournament versus not in TFT. There's a pretty big discussion about it. Okay, anyways, not to detract too much away from... I don't know how we got from playing in call with people to anal beads, but yeah, somehow we landed there. Sorry about that. It was a throwaway joke by Chessbra that people just ran with. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. That's why. I don't think it's a problem right now because in reality, as been referenced, the EV in TFT tournaments is just not worth it. Most people are playing TFT tournaments because it's fun. It's a recreational hobby. It's there is enough stakes to make it meaningful, but if there's like millions of dollars on the line, I expect the amount of vibrator adjacent accusations to increase. Shen, whoa, Prowler's crawl. What? Wait, do you see the Shen? What is he doing? What is he doing? Where's the Shen going? What? Hold on a second. What? This Prowler's crawl Shen just keeps TPing across the board. Hold on. I have to watch that fight again. Okay, hold on a second. So Shen kills this unit, TP's here, cast immediately. How did he TP here? Oh, was it Rakan? Wait. Like he was trying to cast on Rakan and Rakan TP'd back? That was so weird. Mewtwo Shen, yeah. Or should I say Mewtwo Shen? What? This was so weird. What a crazy pick. There wasn't millions of prizes even at League Worlds for years. TFT is not even close to that. I think people would cheat for less. Oh my god, look at the HP count, by the way. 26, 25, 25, 14, 12, 11, 2. Relic has 2 duplicators. You're telling me Relic has 2 duplicators and he still doesn't have Ash 2? Wow. Okay. That's solo? Oh, was that Sologesang? Oh, sorry. Sologesang does not have Ash 2. My bad. Relic, this is Relic. Relic is the duelist player. You're right. Solo hit set 2, though. Looks like that's what he uses duplicators on. And he's just playing Aphelios. He's just playing for placements, I think. Whoa, he wins? Relic's dead. 7th for Relic. Is this support item? Someone had a good question. What's your opinion on stat checking in mid-tournament? I don't like it. I wish people didn't do it. I think it's not something you can enforce, similar to like the other thing. So you might as well enable it so that people don't get punished for being afraid or for wanting to honor the rules. Because I'm pretty sure if you make that rule, I would say like 60% of people would follow it, and then 40% of people just got a straight advantage. But you can enforce it in certain areas like lands or world, like Skip saying world championships. Okay, hold on a second. Prowler's Claw Shen. We gotta see this. Never mind. He's not even. Prowler's Claw is predicated that you kill units. He didn't kill any. Oh man. What happened to the podcast? Not available on the site and on Spotify. It's empty. All episodes are gone. This podcast? Are you sure? That's probably a you thing. You probably have a glitch. Maybe clear cookies. Refresh your internet. Download more RAM. That's probably it. I think you gotta download more RAM. I personally don't want people. I don't want people to stat check mid tournament. I think that it's against the spirit of what tournaments should be. If you allow stats mid tournament as an outside source of help, then I think that it's not even necessary. I think that's almost borderline of just like being in call with somebody else. And then there's the and then there's the stats or interpreting stats is a skill crowd, right? There's the people who would be like, well, looking at stats isn't even an advantage because you have to be good enough to understand what those stats mean. And it's like I feel like that's like a pretty dishonest take, because it's like the reality is at its core you're receiving assistance for something that you didn't know, and making strategy decisions, and I think it takes away from what the TFT competition is really asking for and what it's sorting for. Ooh, wow. Easy won that fight. Pirate Bull is eliminated. I didn't expect him to win, honestly. But he's got Band of Thieves 3 Lucky Gloves at. Okay. Like, people are going to be like, okay, it's not even that good. Like, let him do that. It's like, it's still taking away from the premise of what is problematic about it. Asking chat for help also is probably not helpful, but should you be allowed to do it? Venerable Piggy Bank, ba-boom. Man, I'm actually pretty impressed by the baboom into this Lillia thing. But I mean, Venom piggy bank into fast 9 and then he hit everything is generally really good. And he got the exalted. He kept the exalted because of Lillia. His exalted was Zyra, Lillia, Soraka. That's a really good one. Really good one. Bryce wants to join call. Okay, I will hang out with him. Hello, Bryce.
Hello, friend.
What's up?
Well, I'm down to debate this issue, but I'm also just down to vibe. I don't have work for another 45. I'm like done with my work for the day. And I have 45 minutes. If you, if I can keep watching.
Slacking off.
I know. What can I say? I mean, am I here for game 6?
No, you're here for game 2.
Oh, we just started the new group. Okay,
yeah, we started a new group. But NA, all 3 players advanced. Replay, Malala, and Dish Soap all advanced to the semifinals.
Naturally.
Yeah. Bintum scrapes by the hair of his chinny chin chin.
Wow. And he did it over your flaming the whole time. Very impressive mental resilience. Okay, so wait, I completely disagree with you about the stats thing. Do you want to stay on that topic? Can I give my take on that, or do you want to move on?
Oh, you can.
Okay, because I feel like it's exactly like an open book test. Like in law school, most of the tests were open book. And I think that the skill that a proper law school test sorts for is how you can take the information that is readily available via the internet and then synthesize it and use it correctly and analyze it correctly. And I feel like in TFT it's pretty much the same, where I don't know why we would ever want to give an advantage to someone who spent a bunch of time memorizing a bunch of data from the website. If someone, it's already a pretty meaningful disadvantage to have to be referencing it during game. Like it's time wasted, it's like energy wasted, it takes you out of like the core of what the kind of the rest of the game you're thinking about. But if referencing stats can aid you in making a decision in real time, I don't know why we wouldn't want that to be a thing that they're allowed to do.
Yeah, because I think that you shouldn't be able to reference outside sources to help. And I don't consider TFT an open book test. I don't.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it depends. Basically, the question is, what do you want to sort for? Like, your version rewards people for spending a bunch of time studying the data out of game.
And prepping for it, yes.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like very uninterested in testing for people who have done that work. Personally.
Do you think poker tournaments should also allow like all those different like informational things when you're playing at a table?
Well, wait, what kind of informational things are we going to talk? Talking about?
Like all the stats stuff, the trackers and everything that they do for online poker.
Well, wait, there's stuff that tracks like yeah. So like if you're talking about things like using a solver, like a poker solver, then of course not. But that's completely different.
Okay, maybe not necessarily the solver, but like things that just give you a lot of information that pushes you towards. Like, because the thing is, your justification is not all stats are helpful, but the problem is a lot of stats are very, 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 very helpful and basically take away any meaningful edge of people who are prepping and investing into the game. Like, you should be punished for not being prepared for the tournament.
But wait, you do get punished for that. You get punished for that like in a whole bunch of ways, because you can't possibly look up the data, like all of the data that you would want in real time. So the ability to look it up doesn't mean that you're on an even playing field where everyone has like, you know, has the exact same amount of information going in. Someone with a lot more information going in is going to be able to make use of that information in a bunch of ways that will express skill throughout. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't give people the opportunity to look at some point during a tournament if they want to, like if having a reference check is helpful for them.
Okay, and then my counterpoint to that is, what's the difference between stats and looking up a guide that's written by TFT Academy experts, Disop and Frodan, that also walks them through stage by stage how to play through things and also interpret stats?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine. If someone
you're okay
wants
with
to,
that as well.
Yeah, I don't care about that at all.
You're okay with the hand holding of them teaching them how to play things like Keen literally came on stream and said he didn't know how to play. He came on stream and said he didn't know how to play a comp, and he learned how to play a comp by looking up guides on how to play the comp in the middle of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that like dramatically influenced him, right? I think he kind of had the baseline, but it was like helpful to reassure him. But yeah, I'm actually super fine with that because the thing is that we've come a really long way. Like in set 1, someone literally did a Reddit guide where it was like, listen, follow these 14 steps and you will climb playing like forcing the Cassidon assassin comp. Right? We've come so far from that I just don't believe that someone could follow a guide like that and have reasonable success. We're just way better at TFT now. And so if someone wants to like quickly have a reference check while they're doing it, sure, because there's like a billion decisions they're making over the course of a game of TFT that are you're not going to be able to answer for them in those moments. Like it's just it's impractical for your guide to actually do that. And even if your guide did that, it would be 50 pages long per comp, and it would be impractical for someone to digest it in real time in a game.
Should someone be allowed to be able to be in a call with somebody and ask them to look up stats for them?
No, you
Why
should
not?
have to do it. You should have to do because you should be one player, one game. You should have to play it by yourself.
But stats is outside assistance in the form of outside help. It's not playing by yourself at all.
I don't think that's actually like true. I just don't think that's actually how stats work practically in general or specifically in the context of TFT. I think that in the context of TFT, stats are an additional variable that when thoughtfully interpreted can help influence decision making, but they do not make decisions in most cases.
Okay, but I don't think but where is the expression of skill in a way that is in a way that doesn't make it feel like you're just requiring outside assistance? Because the problem with stats is you're saying like, well, the skill is you to interpret it, but that's not what I think a lot of times tournaments should be looking for. Like, where's the skill? What you're saying? I want you want the best TFT players to be able to look up stats and tell you and interpret numbers on the fly. Is that what it is?
I think that the best TFT players express skill in literally hundreds of ways throughout the game, some of which could be informed by out of game stats research, most of which have to do with things that really data is not going to successfully quantify, things like scouting, positioning, macro decision making about what line to go, etc. And I don't think that the ability to access stats in the game is gonna change that version of skill expression, which to me is the most interesting part of skill expression in TFT, one way or the other. I think that practically speaking, what stats does for instance, like if you talk to a player like the actual best players are basically never looking at stats during the tournament because they have so much of that work done already and then so much intuition that's overlaying on top of it. Why would they rely on stats? What stats actually do in these contexts is help a player like me that doesn't have time to do that and doesn't get to brute force like thousands of games per set. And so in real time, I cannot make a boneheaded decision by just quickly referencing the stats to understand the relative power level of an augment or of an item slam on a particular champion.
Or how to play a comp.
Huh?
Or how to play a composition in general.
Sure, but I mean, I just don't actually think that's a realistic hypothetical if I'm being honest with you. Like, I know that Keen just talked about that, like in our post-game interview, but what he basically said was he referenced it to make sure he like understood at the high level what was going on, and it allowed him to play a line for the first time in tournament. But I promise if we watch that game, that he made, literally hundreds of decisions. At most, a few of them were influenced by the ability to pull up TFT Academy during the thing, and most of it was because he's played a lot of TFT and he had to make the calls in real time. And if you're distracted reading a guide, then there's a ton of trade-off for that as well. So I think that there are like natural consequences to the player that has to review a guide or look at stats during a tournament, and I'm super good with those trade-offs.
Man, it's so interesting because I literally come to the opposite conclusion after you describe everything. The more you describe it, the more I hate it. The more I hate it, yeah. Because I feel like you're saying like I should be rewarded as a player for being less invested, for preparing less, and for not knowing how to do things. You're like, okay, why does a player like me get punished for not knowing how to play something in TFT? Like that's the interpretation. I know that's not what you said, but I'm taking snippets of what you're saying, and basically it feels like foundationally we are trying to help players it's who are handicapping or rather who are like, I'm trying to use handicap like golf, who are handicapped players, and trying to make them able to win alongside the players who have to do it the hard way of prepping and being very invested in tournaments. And I understand that you're saying like that's not the question is what you're sorting for. I think we
Yeah.
should be sorting for those players. I think you should be rewarded for your play, and I think specifically you shouldn't be rewarded for people who say like, well, I don't have time and I want to spend my time like looking and learning in the game. I don't think that should be available to them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing on this is I just feel like because there's so many ways in which you express skill in TFT, and so many of the other ways are really interesting to me that I don't. It's a big part of the reason why as time has gone on, not always. I think some parts of Augments I think are actually like a lot less compelling than I originally thought they would be. But moving that aside, because that topic's like kind of far afield, I just feel like sorting for the people who have done the research in advance is the least interesting version of skill expression that could possibly exist in TFT. And so I would rather the rules sort for the other opportunities to express skill, like the actual skill of the game. And again, because I think there are very clear trade-offs to someone who has to look up these stats in the middle of a game, I think that there are natural consequences to the player who has to do that. I can tell you definitively that I know when I'm good at TFT because of the amount that I rely on stats in the game versus when I don't feel like I need to rely on stats in the game, because I already have the fundamentals of the stats in my brain, which means I can just make clear decisions and stay locked into the game, consistently be scouting, make a bunch of better decisions than if I have to alt tab, go to tactics.tools, pull up the explorer, pull up ash, 6 porcelain ash, 3 items, 2-star, sort by the items in order to make my item decision. That there's a lot of trade-offs to me having to do that, and that seems like a perfectly valid way of looking at it to me in terms of like the cost benefit of allowing someone to look at stats in the game.
I mean, I can see your perspective. I do, and I'm actually surprised that you value it as such a low amount of skill, because I think, to me, that is all part of the preparation process. I don't think individually reading stats is like a particularly unskillful thing. I mean, you even described it. Reading stats can be skillful.
Yeah, it can be for sure. But
and so you're saying like memorizing is not skillful, which I think is already hard to define. I think that's like I think maybe we just disagree on that fundamentally. Like, I think it's not like memorizing stats. I think it's like overly reductive of what's going on. It's more like preparing and strategizing and understanding what's going on, like figuring out the meta and trying to find optimization points. Like that's all part of skill. Like that's all different. And like skill, there's like different types of skills. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like the least impressive type of skill under knowledge or preparation that you define, but I don't think it's like least amount of skill expression.
But wait, what you just described, I agree is skillful, but all of that work is happening out of game. People aren't changing their meta read live in real time in a game by looking up stats. That's just not how stats actually get used in the game.
A lot of players are, though.
What player is like looking up stats live in the game to decide what line they're going?
Like Robin songs.
I don't think Robin is looking up stats during a tournament to decide what line to go.
He has, though.
He has?
Yes.
What was the context?
Well, I mean, he's like literally like, okay, I mean, he has looked at stats and said like, this is better. I'm definitely going. Like, and also I think it is most certainly happening more often with weaker players than it is at top players. And if your argument is, well, it doesn't matter for the top players, I don't think that's a good argument, because it's about what the tournament holistically should be approaching in terms of what is fair competition and what is the spirit of competition. And I think stats actively work against it. But I personally believe people are literally at 2-1, don't know which augment to take because it's 50-50. Look at stats. Stats help show them what they should be playing, and then as they're playing it, they're reading on stage 2 what they should be doing and learning the line on the spot, and I do not think they should be rewarded for that personally. I think a lot of and I do think there are players who have benefited from it actively. I can't point examples, right? Because right now I'm talking about purely like what I believe to be the case. You might be right. Literally, it's never happened. But I personally would be shocked to believe if nobody's ever done that in tournament and never found success.
Yeah, I mean, I believe. Okay, so I believe that it is possible. Like I believe that it is possible someone has had their line influenced by looking at stats during the game. Obviously, I cannot eliminate the possibility. I think it's pretty rare. I think that this is like arguing it's an outlier use case for practically speaking how stats actually get used, because I just don't think like that type of work takes a lot more time than you can possibly allocate in the middle of the game. But I think that sure, it is possible that someone's line has been influenced by data, but if that data exists outside of the game, and if people play, if that's part of how you prepare to play, I don't really know why we would care whether or not someone is looking at it live during a tournament versus checking it 5 minutes before the game starts and happens to have like got onto the right information and then can use that in the game. It just doesn't matter to me. The information is available. It's not interesting to me to sort for whether or not you actually have that information in your brain before the game. I'd rather TFT sort for a whole bunch of other much more interesting things. And so as a result, I'm fine with it.
That's okay. I understand that, and I think assuming that was the case, I can even potentially get on board with it. But I do think the reality is TFT is that game. I think TFT is a game of knowledge, and I think it's a war of knowledge to a certain degree. Like, how much do you know of things? And I think that coming from a strategy game background in particular, I would be shocked if you were allowed to look at mulligan stats in Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, like live in tournaments. And that wasn't an ethical issue about the competition. I think there's like a huge amount of that that becomes problematic. And I know that's not necessarily, it's a different game, but I guess that's kind of where it comes down to, right? Our approach to what TFT is and what we think TFT players should be rewarded for and what tournaments should be sorting for, I think are different. And so I think that's, I mean, I feel like we're just on opposite sides on this one.
Yeah, that's
my
super
conclusion
fair.
is that like everything you said, I'm actually like there, and then I come to a different conclusion.
I feel like reasonable minds can definitely disagree on this, because at the end of the day, there's like a first principles discussion going on here of what do you value, what do you think a TFT tournament should be sorting for, and if we disagree about that, then of course we disagree about the conclusion.
Yeah, and I think part of it is just that I don't want any outside assistance. Period. Oh no, Solo going 8th is really bad. It's a small comment. He's at 4 points. I don't want outside help of any kind possibly. I don't want the Broccoli Kevin Parker moment to be them alt tabbing, looking at stuff. I just don't think that's interesting. I think that in fact is actively souring. Like if stat checking became an active thing at competitions at like LANs and whatnot, and was like the correct way to play is to have a binder of notes next to you where you can pull up stat sheets and you're looking at things and you're alt tabbing, I would legitimately consider not covering TFT tournaments anymore, because I think that is so uninteresting and lame. Personally,
I get where you're coming from, but I guess I guess I feel like the value of you. I think any serious player that is not spending a meaningful time with stats out of game to think about the bigger picture of TFT and think about like what lines they're playing and the conditions for those lines and how you should be approaching them and how you cap them and all that stuff is straight up trolling. But I also think that practically speaking, you cannot do that level of work in the data in a game without insane consequences for your results in the game. So while hypothetically someone could do that work by looking at tactics.tools or looking at TFT Academy during a game live, I'm kind of fine with that, because the other players, the people that did do that work in advance and don't need to do it during a game, are heavily rewarded as a result of that. So it's not a big deal to me. And I think practically speaking, how stats are actually used is really just like looking up like BIS items on a champion or like relative augment data within a line. And I could not be less interested in like whether or not someone took the time to memorize that in advance. I think if someone wants to look that up in the middle of a tournament, that's fine.
Man, I think that you also, one thing I will say is that I think people really underestimate how often top players are doing this in tournaments when they're allowed to. yeah, like I think there's a lot of good players doing it and gaining significant edge over other top players who aren't doing it.
Hmm.
And I think it's like I think a lot of top players have kind of an ego about it. I don't need to check the stats type of thing. And I think that they're wrong. I think that they should be checking stats mid tournament as well. That's my personal belief. And I think that yes, a lot of what you described is correct. I think, especially in the theory of like what TFT is bringing to the table with all the hundreds and thousands of different things to memorize. But the reality is, you don't have to memorize those things for this specific game. You don't have to know how to play Duelist if you're playing an Ash game. That's not being tested. You just have to learn how to play a small snippet and subsection of that, and you can reference that and instantly get almost everything you possibly could need. And if you're a good enough player, you know how to parse that data. So like a player, and I'm just gonna throw out a name there, like New Bowel could walk on today, and as long as he has good enough reps on the set, I think New Bowel's like diamond right now in TFT. So if he got to like the Masters GM level proficiency, actually a better example would be like Degree. Degree's like Grandmaster. He's not taking it seriously. But if you allowed Degree to check stats mid-tournament, he would significantly, dramatically improve his performance relative to everybody else who, despite having almost much less investment than everyone else, and I don't think that's fair to everyone else, personally. I think players around that caliber are doing it. Like, I think, like, one player who probably wouldn't even... I don't like speculating, but I feel like this is a safe one to speculate on. I think someone like Clear TFT can and would do something like this, and I think that he's generally good at abusing stats as one of his main edges. And I think he's a big proponent of doing stuff like that. So if he doesn't do that at all, I'll retract that. I'll walk it back. But I feel like he said stuff like that before, so I wanted to use him as like an example. I think that would be a good person who actually would be an example of it.
Yeah, I would believe that there are some players that do like use stats quite a bit in a tourney game.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's true. It's hard for me to guess. I'm actually really curious. We should almost like, I'm curious to do like a poll on this, poll a bunch of like the people who submit ballots for DTI YDK in both Americas and EMEA, and just see like on average how many times per game do they look it up, what kind of information are they looking up, how often are they looking up augment data, how often are they looking up like itemization data, how much are they looking at other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Because there are definitely some assumptions going to this about how it's used, but honestly, even if that data suggested that every pro is using it a material amount in game, I still think I would be fine with it.
Okay. I guess that's ultimately where we sit. Ultimately, like I think we just basically at this point have exhausted most of it.
Yeah, I think we agree to disagree, which I'm fine with. It was an interesting conversation, and the funny thing about this is almost purely hypothetical, because I think we both agree that because enforcement is impossible, you just have to allow it, because from an integrity perspective, there's not really another option, right?
Better just to allow it, and then people who opt out of it, but most people will opt in.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a personal principle of me. Like I don't look at stats when I'm competing in anything because I don't want to. But like I know I'm at a disadvantage for doing that.
Interesting.
Get Bebe in the call. Sounds good. I'll DM him. Wait, he said he's not going to give out any more help for free. Sorry, he declined the call. Sorry, Riot Games.
Unlucky. We got the free help he provided was too valuable. We're too busy implementing all of his takes on the future of TFT as a game and as an esport. And so that's enough. If we want more, we have to pay him millions of dollars for that type of analysis.
Yeah. Sorry we haven't been analyzing most of this game, although a lot of it is pretty similar. There's a lot of duelists and Ash and the usual stuff. Yeah,
it feels like the meta is have you seen anything surprising in mid-set, or it feels like the meta is very solved?
7 Story Weaver is rearing its head every now and then and doing okay. So that ended up being something that's good. I think that's about it. Not many like weird rerolls. A lot of people kind of playing the same like Duelist, Lillia, Sages stuff. Ash Fast 9 is not really that popular, but every now and then we see it. I saw a cool transition from Ego Illusions where he played 7-Story Weaver into Lillia. He like used that to Fast 9 and then transitioned into Exalted Lillia.
That's cool.
Oh,
He's
Syndra.
legit.
Dry Syndra, of course.
He's super legit.
I mean, for people who are kind of coming halfway, you don't understand what we're doing. We're just basically like discussing whether or not stats should be looked at in tournament or allowed to be allowed. But I think we can all agree that I think you shouldn't be allowing people like in calls or getting assistance directly from other people like in chat and stuff like that. And that's also like a very big gray area of enforcement because that's against the rules, but like kind of really hard to enforce it, which is what people are bringing up as concerns right now. And then there's the other like really subtle thing of like griefing people when you're like eliminated from tournaments, but they're trying to address as well.
Yeah, one player, one game feels like a foundational thing that needs to be part of the integrity of TFT.
Yeah. Unless there's radio engineers that are there to assist as part of the format. Like maybe Bryce and I are playing one game, but I'm on call. I'm his engineer, and he like a race engineer. And then I basically just yap in his ear the whole time, backseating him.
I mean, isn't that basically what we did at the summit?
No, you played 2 games. It's 2 games, 2 players, but you were on comms. I meant 1 player.
Oh, I like it. Apropos of nothing, you know what I realized earlier? You know, we've been talking about doing something special for the 50th episode. Timing is perfect because this week's review episode is 48. Well, I guess it's not perfect because then I guess it's 49 and 50 is the cup and then the review of the cup.
I mean, we could do 50 as the review. We could just review it ourselves, but
yeah, I mean, I mean, personally, I'd be down to just like skip the review and do the 50. Because I feel like the reason why I thought about that just now is because I feel like for the 50th episode, assuming the plan's going to be just the 2 of us, I feel like it leans into kind of a yapping format similar to like what we're doing right now, where we just kind of get to wax philosophical about a lot of kind of bigger picture TFT things.
Yeah, I'm down. That sounds fun. Yeah, 50 episodes, which is wild because we don't do it weekly.
Yeah.
We do it like sometimes a few times a month, and then sometimes we don't do anything for like a month and a half. It's based on the competitive season. So I was thinking about it, Bryce. Next set, we will have been doing the podcast for the length of a single half-life of TFT because we start in set 6 and it's set 12 soon.
That's pretty cool. I'm excited for the 50th episode. I definitely want to take like a stroll down memory lane and look at some of like the best moments from the history of the podcast and like, you know, I don't know, the history of TFT, etc.
Yeah, I'm down for you to find all those moments.
Yeah, that's fair. I can probably do that. I can commit some time and like actually pull some of that stuff.
Oh man. Kiana 3 Exalted. What's the Exalted? It's Zir, Yasuo, and Malphite. I mean, the nerf to Kiana should definitely hurt duelists. I don't know if it means that duelists is not good anymore. I'm pretty sure that means they're just less good, but they're still good.
Yeah, what's your overall take on the patch? Once they added the Kiana nerf, are you fine with it?
I mean, I think the patch is boring is my biggest problem of it.
Okay.
But I did an exercise at the end of my patch notes rundown with more dog, and I looked at the meta and I said, well, if I look at holistically on the roster, maybe I'm just done with set 11, like in terms of experiencing what the game has to offer, because at this point we have to look for obscure things, because every carry has had its time in the sun and all these traits had different moments where they've been like in the meta. And so maybe in reality what I'm looking for is set 12. Because I just look at the whole roster, just click up tactics tool, click units, and be like, well, yeah, I guess like the only thing we could really do is make Malphite reroll a thing, and then Voltaires gets to laugh at us.
Do we think the Kai'Sa they reverted the nerf on 4 trick shot? Do you think that makes Kai'Sa better, or is Kai'Sa still going to be really weak in the meta?
I mean, I think they probably needed to make Galio or Size a little bit better, just to make her natural frontline a little bit easier to play. Yeah. So that way, I think Kai'Sa's problem wasn't the damage; it was her frontline.
Okay, so you still think Kai'Sa's going to be weak, and do you?
On the weaker side.
Do we think 4 Reaper becomes a comp and Kayn is good now?
I don't know about Kayn, but I feel like reroll Reapers might be good.
Okay.
Reroll Reapers might be good.
Because it feels weird leaving Kane and Kaisa out of the meta feels pretty bad to me overall, assuming that they remain like largely out of the meta.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
It's not like the set is bad or anything. I'm just like I'm just looking holistically. We've had like everybody at the tier 3 and tier 4 have had a chance, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, but so for me, like having a chance, that's gonna naturally happen. Like there's gonna be some balance whiplash throughout. But for me, what I'm really looking for is like I've yet to see a patch that played stylistically flexibly this set. Like is it three? It feels like it seems like 3 cost reroll is basically dead. 2 cost reroll is basically dead outside of hero augments. 1 cost reroll is dead outside of hero augments as well.
Kog'Maw you could play,
right? So and then if Kaisa and,
next patch.
yeah, that's true. And that's true. Zoe is played, so there's basically like one. It sounds like there'll be 1 non-hero augment, 1 cost reroll, 1 non-hero augment, 3 cost reroll.
Oh, sorry, it was a closing fight.
No, you're good.
Okay, but that was a really big bounce back game from Relic. But good job. Yeah, so I think overall, I think the patch. I mean, I'm fine with where the patch is. It's just like. I'm just not excited about it. There's nothing that makes me excited about it. Is the big problem.
Yep, that's fair.
That's basically it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I actually think set 11 is fine. Like, it's in a fine spot. If this is where they drop it off for the World Championship, it's actually not even that bad. It's fine. It's just I think it's kind of not. I think it's just played out. Which is surprising to me. I anticipated the set to be a lot more. Oh, Lillia augments. Oh, geez.
Oh.
I anticipated the set to actually be a lot more fun for longer, but yeah.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
Yeah, I mean, well, for me, I always have the most fun when I feel like I'm loading in and there's like a lot of paths that I can take in a lot of different styles, and that it's somewhat fluid in making decisions, that I'm not like committing in 2-1. And I feel like how the set feels right now is there is medium amount of room to play at 4 cost, medium to light amount of room to play at the other cost tiers, relatively linear board making structure, and very little stylistic flexibility or very little fluidity throughout the game. So for me, this falls well below my definition of fine, personally.
Man, I don't know. Like, so when you say stylistically flexible, I feel like your definition of it might be different from mine. So I'm not entirely sure if I agree that I think it's not stylistically flexible. But I do think that maybe something that's like touching adjacently to what you're describing is that I think a lot of games flow the same is the word I'm going to use. Like a lot of people just like roll down at 4-1 and 4-2, and that's like the game
on level 8, right?
Yeah,
like
on
how
level
much
8.
how much
that could be what you're describing.
Yeah, that's a ton of what I'm describing. What percentage of games do you think people are rolling before level 8? And if we take out hero augments, what percentage is it then?
I don't know. 10%?
I would imagine that if you take out hero augments from the analysis, and the question is what percentage of games people roll before level 8, that the average lobby has 0 players rolling before level 8. And we got some, right? Because basically the question is like, is there a Zoe Zyra player? For some reason, is someone playing like Kog'Maw? Like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like there are some paths, but if that's the answer, then I think that there's like structural things wrong, personally. And I also think that what I would consider a truly like a perfectly balanced TFT patch has like 2 to 3 viable reroll paths at 1 cost, 2 cost, and 3 cost that are like A or S tier, ideally A tier. Like I hate when reroll is too broken, and then has room to basically play around every 4 cost, even if some of them are like weaker. It shouldn't be like what it feels like right now with Kane, where people are joking about whether like is the unit clickable. That shouldn't be like it shouldn't be a conversation. And I know that this is like a pie in the sky version of balance. I'm not saying I expect them to get there early in a set or even get there every set, but I think that should be the goal. And when I read this patch, it feel like they have a different goal than that.
I mean, I think that I think the paths are closer than people think they are. Like, I think Kane is closer to being playable than people think he is. I think it might be there's a little bit of the group think of like, well, Kane is like unclickable, and one good player said that, and then that just becomes like this whole like, yeah, you know what, Kane sucks, he's unclickable type of thing. I think that the balance is so finely tuned in the sense that, or rather so on knife's edge, that there's a really good chance that they just gave Kane another 100 HP, he'd be way too broken again. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now with set 11, which is like kind of duct taped and toothpicked together of balance, where like any like thing that blows the wrong wind direction because of the way like all the systems are in place, portals, encounters, like augments, whatever, it's very easy for things to get to OP if they just swing even slightly in the other direction. All they did was give Garen 10 more mana, which is frankly a big deal, but it all of a sudden turned it into like a 4.7 to a 3.7. That's a massive swing, yeah. Right? So just I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's actually closer than people realize. And it's not as so simple as like, well, buff Kane. It's like, well, but buff Kane by how much? Because I think he could also swing to a 4.0 again. If he's too good.
Yeah, that's super fair. Really fast, check Discord. Yeah, Tay pinged you. Let's just stop all conversations, see what she says.
Let me see. Oh, I want pizza and I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, then order pizza.
Yeah, I'm down.
Tay, I got you. So yeah, that's super fair. That argument is basically, hey, it might get worse if they mess with it more. So we kind of have to leave it here.
Yeah.
And that is fair. That's the thing about TFT. I have never been of the belief that like challenger players would be good at balancing TFT. Like all these people were like, it's so easy. Well, I think that take is fucking terrible. But I do think that there is value in continuing to push at this stage of a set to see if we can especially if we can make some of the lower cost reroll a little bit more viable. I think that would dramatically open up how it feels to play the set. Because part of what reroll does is it gives options to someone that low rolls, like there's so little control stage 1 and 2 that if you low roll and if you don't get a hero augment and there's no viable reroll paths, then it's really hard to justify spending your money early. You just want it fast aiding with less HP and you become even more dependent on hitting on level 8. So for me, having a meaningful amount of viable reroll is about making the game like holistically more fair and giving people opportunity to play their macro more thoughtfully in a way that gives downside protection.
Yeah, and I think I personally believe right now my leading theory is that it is the inflation problem is because the people who are ahead are going to have so many resources they're going to hit, and they're going to get so many extra like items. Like there's almost like no downsides anymore for win streakers, and it's not that like you should be punished for win streaking, but like it almost feels like if you're just behind, you're going to be in really big trouble. And I think that's kind of what led to the certain like, and so to compensate, we have to raise power levels of other things and do other different types of system manipulation to kind of navigate around that. But I think that part of what we used to experience in the past was like there was just less goals and less things in the game, and so you would miss more often and struggle to get online, and that gave more time for everybody to kind of catch up. So I do think, that's all to say, I do think macro, there is an inflation problem with set 11 in particular. The good news is that none of that has to exist for set 12.
Yep.
They could theoretically wipe, they could keep portals around, but they could wipe like a bunch of economy away. So it's like not much gold subscription and gold opener and like 20 champion openers, you know what I mean? They could wig a lot of that. And so I think it's very fixable, but I do think it's a problem.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a largely under-discussed problem. It's the problem that Milk brings up by far the most often. And if you talk about pro players, he talks about TFT inflation. And it's got like this funny, like boomer-esque, like back in my day.
Like, yeah. But Milk posted a screenshot of like, these are endgame lobbies from like even set 9. And most of it ends on multiple 2-star 4 cost and like maybe a 5 cost. And Ionia challengers, for example, like the Yasuo Kaisa comp, that was like really fun to play. That was like what the late game comp was, like that plus whatever you would cap on the very end. If you're playing like Ari for Ionia, for example, like that was
Yeah.
it. Nowadays it's like you gotta have 2-star Rakan, 2-star Irelia, like a Wukong, maybe an Udyr 2 thrown into the mix, and it's just like because it's so crazy how much is going on. But the problem is there's less than ever before because there's fewer copies of that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of like that kind of element of the game where it does feel like there's so much going on. Maybe that's what TFT's become. Maybe it's the opposite direction. Maybe we need to make 6 costs a thing, readjust our our expectations, transform the game experience. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, for me, I think encounters will go down as one of my least favorite mechanics of all time, because I feel like they often curveball spots, but also I think that the inflation out of control has pulled out a meaningful amount of some of my favorite skill expression in TFT, like resource management skill expression in TFT, like thinking about item economy, thinking about your actual economy, playing stage 2 and 3 in a way that actually like sets you up to fast 8 and consistently hit. There used to be an enormous amount of skill expression to fast 8ing and making sure that you manage streak and economy and board value thoughtfully in order to get there and have enough gold to roll, and that's just not a thing anymore. Like it's way too easy to fast 8 in the game right now. I think that's why Milk complains about it the most, by the way, because I think that it's an area of the game where he always found quite a bit of edge, being insanely thoughtful in a bunch of little decision making that would add up and put him in positions to consistently hit, and now he doesn't get rewarded for it in the same way because there's just so much resources the game just fucking slaps you in the face with.
Yeah, my only counterpoint to that is that Riot has many times said that we can't evaluate level 8 the same way we did in the past, because now there's level 10 and 7 and 8 have now transformed to be different. So if you're like, we used to roll on 7, we used to roll on this one was 8, it's like, well, yeah, because the game was different back then, which is why I said the opposite direction of like, what if instead it was like there's 6 costs and all of a sudden our evaluation of things completely change, and maybe that ends up being the thing. That's all to say. That's game design and dev theory. And I think that there's a lot of levers that Riot can pull, and I don't even know if they're gonna get it right in set 12, but I hope they get it right by set 13. They have a lot of different things they can do, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is we're still in the relatively early days of iterating on TFT as a game and of the genre, and because it's the only show in town, so to speak. They just have to keep guessing and trying things and figuring it out. And sometimes they try stuff and it just doesn't work. But there are lots of times they try stuff and they're like, okay, so this didn't hero augments as a set mechanic had its issues, but this the way we transformed 2 costs and turned units that were not exciting into units that are exciting, that can be fun. Like, that's fun design space. So we can always do that, right? Portals, seems great. Let's just keep this around. Augments, this seems great. Let's just keep this around. Like that kind of thing. There's lots of different stuff. Radiant items. Let's find a way to keep that around. Like, there's lots of stuff that they've done that has worked on different levels in the given set, but that learning has very much built what has made an overall more fun version of TFT. And so I believe that TFT will look dramatically different in 5 years from what it is today, and overall better. Like, even though I think that this set is worse than the previous set, I still think the long tail arc of TFT trends in a right direction, personally.
Oh man, this guy's so positive. Mordog must be in chat right now.
I feel like I'm mostly negative these days, actually. Like, I always get kind of uncomfortable when my overall sentimentality about a set is negative, because I struggle to not express my opinions, as you know, and so then I feel like I just get on with you on a co-stream, or I get on the podcast, or we just randomly whatever, and I feel like I talk pretty negatively about the state of things quite a bit, which is how I felt about a lot of the set.
Yeah, that's fair. I think set 11 is not that bad. I think encounters are not that bad. I'm not entirely sure how much this take actually holds up to scrutiny the more I think about it, but my gut reaction is I'm even willing to keep encounters around if they take away something else. Like they took away portals and then we kept encounters. I actually low-key would be okay. Like, maybe encounters happen at the beginning of the game and that's about it. But
I mean, I don't
actually don't
mind
even
the
think encounters are that
idea-
bad. I think people are like hyper fixated on the bad encounters. I don't even think they're that bad.
I mean, if you were to pull out somewhere between 50 and 70% of the current encounters, and you were to make them happen less often, and you were to announce in advance, like, these are the encounters, here's when they're happening, I could live with that. But I feel like they're so, like, it's kind of like a completely different version of encounters. Oh, hi!
Did you hear Bryce for the first time?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. This
Hi.
guy is yapping so much, right? He's keeping you
Yeah,
awake.
you're gonna get used to it, Levi. I'm gonna yap a lot in your life about a lot of different things.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, I'm
Anyway.
down with any kind of pizza.
Excellent.
Just my wife likes pineapple on pizza.
Respect.
Leviticus, don't full name him like that. Come on. Not his name.
Bye, Tay. Bye,
Taylor
Levi.
gets really upset.
Actually, that's a perfect segue that it's 4:30 and my nanny is
You gotta
leaving
head
and I
out.
need to go hang out with my kids.
All right.
But this was super fun and podcast on Friday.
Thanks for the miniature preview on podcast. We're gonna do a podcast episode for Don't Talk If You Don't Know this Friday as well. Later, Bryce.
Bye, chat. Bye, Dan.
Okay. Man, you guys like that impromptu podcast with Bryce? All right. What do I do now? Talk about TFT? All right. Fortune cash out, a bunch of components, combat caster. This portal. This game is actually really interesting. I'm a little bit sad I missed kind of the macro commentary of this game, because they have one augment until stage 5, and that changes a lot. And it actually completely lopsides a lot of people's evaluation of certain comps, because some comps are much more dependent on augment spikes than others and how they actually evaluate their spots. But anyways, I could listen to Bryce for hours. All right, man. He's not here in the call anymore. You don't have to glaze him up. But you're right. You guys, Bryce always has interesting to say. It's always fun to chat, even if it's a little bit off topic, but I enjoy it. Encounters are terrible. You can't get your comp broken because you got the wrong encounter. I think when people think about encounters, they think about the worst encounters. They're not thinking about an encounter that says, like, take magnetic remover and 5 gold. I think that one's a great one. Or even the Malphite encounter. They don't think about the Teemo one where you get to reroll your augments. I like that one. Like, but some games you do, some games you don't. I think, you know, or you get your next augment immediately. I think that one's also interesting. I think there's a lot of different small things about encounters that I think are really interesting. It changes the dynamic of the game. What if you have to pick 2 of your augments in stage 2? You get a completely different game than you get at 3-2 and 4-2. I don't know. That's what I was saying. I think my hot take, I'm not entirely sure if it holds up to scrutiny. I think they can keep encounters around, change a lot of it, and but they would have to cut something else. I don't think they should keep encounters and portals, for example. It's kind of not too much. Fight judging encounters, sure. The Teemo predictions. What about the Zyra? You get 3 of one component. That one's kind of fun, you know? Small stuff like that. I don't mind Janna's where you get to roll 10 times and you pick the item you want. Those are kind of fun. Easy at 1 HP, 9 life. He can't lose here. If he loses here, he's dead. Rageblade, Irelia, Gunblade. Hui. Is this Irelia Hui? No, it's not. For the Exalted. Lillia Morgue. 3-item Lillia Morgue. Actually, the amount... How they have... Everyone has so many items despite only 1 augment. It's kind of crazy. It's stage 4. Everyone has 7 items. Or 6... Yeah, sorry. 6 items plus the items on the bench. Like, that's kind of what I'm describing about the quote inflation. It's just like you're gonna get more gold than ever before, more items than ever before. So if you're ahead and you roll and you hit, you're just gonna have everything fully online. It's just wild. Unless someone has lucky gloves and gets 3 gloves and it's not fun. I mean, it's fun for the one player. Awesome. Like, TFT won't thrive as a game if your opponent's only low roll. You have to remember that if TFT thrives as a game, some people, more than one person in the lobby has the high roll, because then that becomes a good experience for these players. You remember the games that you high roll that are awesome, and those are the games that keep you stick around. You need the dopamine drip. Imagine a slot machine that you can never lose at. it's not fun anymore. It becomes boring. It just becomes a chore. You just have to keep rolling. Okay, I'm not sure if we have to keep the working out with set makes you bigger one. 6 duelists. Like, I don't even know how good duelists are if you only have 1 augment. People talk about duelists without combat augments, but what if no one has combat augments? Are duelists okay then? Augment 5-2, augment 5-3. Oh, man. Like, this is an interesting game, don't you think? I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, it's miserable to play if you feel like you're low rolling and you don't have augments to bail you out. But from a viewing perspective, I don't mind. Okay, I guess we can start itemizing like the Aphelios as well, i.e. Oh, Senna. Okay, it turns out duelists are still really good. There you go. Question answered. Boom. 6 sniper, 3 exalted, 3 porcelain. Prismatic 5-2. Call the Kjaos. Dude, dying before second augment. Embarrassing. Golden egg at 5-2? That sounds horrible. Whoa! He took golden egg! Oh, he's at 100 HP. He's at 100 HP. Wow. Have you ever seen that? A 5-2 golden egg. A 5-2 golden egg. He's getting an entire stage late. Oh my god. You see what I mean, man? There's some really interesting stuff that happened. I don't know. I feel like I've made my case. I think people who understand where I'm coming from, they probably even agree with me. Okay, we have Morgana 1, Lillia 1. There's no way we survive this. I think Relic's dead. Oh, he's at 22 lives, so he has 1 more life. Next augment is Tiniest Titans. Wait, he won! He took Golden Egg and won! Oh, man. What is Golden Egg? It's a prismatic augment that says in 11 turns, you get a big cash out. But you have to, and every win you get speeds it up by a round. So normally it's 2 stages to cash out, but if you win a fight, you get -1 round. I love it. I love it. EU streamers were joking that everyone from EMEA just forces duelists constantly. I mean, duelists are the best comp in the game overall to play. So, like, you can't be mad at people playing the best comp in the game. But it's not like duelists won every lobby. Duelists only won 1 lobby in Group A. Lily, like Ash won more lobbies. Snipers won more lobbies. Lillia won more lobbies. So. Duelists are just really consistent. An encounter! Completed item. Dude, how crazy was this? Prismatic item, prismatic augment into gold augment into full item carousel. Huge spike. Double full items on this carousel. Wait, Pareba won again. Wait a second. What if he wins the game without cashing out and without losing a single fight? 100 HP, golden egg, unhatched victory. The game's almost over. Look at it. 15, 12, 9 HP. The game's almost over. There's no way. Did he high roll that much? That might be the swaggiest win of all time. That might be the biggest flex. Holy shit. You can't hash. I mean, if he loses enough fights, you can hash, but like I think if he takes like narrow losses, he won again. What? Really? Really? He's about to 100 the lobby with golden egg on the bench. Dude, duelists are so crazy, man. 19 streak, golden egg on the like, he's literally down an entire prismatic augment. He's going up against the duelist mirror. He separated Volibear and Lisa. Wait a second. I think he No way. Is he dead? 2 HP. 20 streak, golden egg. Oh my god. Are these games on 1410B? Yes, they are. I don't think they're swapping for Friday. I've never seen this before. A 100 HP golden egg victory. I mean, that's just swag points. I kind of want it to happen. Oh no, solo hit the Irelia. But I do kind of want it to happen. Because I want to be able to say this definitively. I saw Duelist take a stage 5-2 golden egg, didn't cash it out, and won the game at 100 HP. Like, doesn't that just sound absurd? Like, I'm just making it up? Like, no, you're exaggerating. It didn't happen. I want that to happen. Like, I don't want Solo to lose, but I kind of want that to happen for the story. Wait a second. No! Oh, Solo, why? Solo, why? Man. Okay, now I want the opposite. I want Solo to win like 6 rounds in a row and win the game, and Parebo cashes out and loses anyways. I just want the extreme. I just want the extreme thing to happen. Is he guaranteed to hatch? I think he won 4 rounds, which means that he's down to 2 turns. I think his next turn. It might be next turn or one more turn. Wait, does he win? What? Oh, he almost won anyway. Oh, dude, he was 1 round anyways. You know what? It's Nick Offerman, by the way. I'm down to just lie. You're telling me that these 2 guys are different people? I mean, this is the same guy to me. It's his son. He's definitely his son. They're related somehow. All right. Fun outcome, I guess, or fun fun scenario. Where does Parebo sit? 2nd in points right now. Okay, Solo top 4. I need Relic to get through. I need all the Americas to get through.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
I'd about you, but I saw a Mr. 100 without cashing egg there.
Smile forever. Oh yeah, exactly. I saw, dude. You guys see that game where Duelists 100 streak, picked golden egg at 5-2, and then didn't even hatch the egg and won the game anyways? That was insane. All right, what a wacky ass game. Which region is considered to be the best in TFT? North America. Anyway, Smile, thank you so much for 3 months. He did win the game with the golden egg on bench. That is true. It is a big flex regardless, but it's not the biggest flex, you know. I want a big time flex. All right, is this champion conference? Not sure. We'll see. EU 2nd and 4th. Yeah, I kind of want EU to actually advance. I know people are saying like EU's getting cleared, but I want good representation for the finals. All right, Solo currently in 4th place. I think the points have been really top heavy as well. Like the players who are doing well are doing very well. 2 Volibears? Wait a second. Gonna hold on to Cho'Gath 2. Or rather Cho'Gath parry, just Cho'Gath 2. Faded. Demon Hunter. You think this guy plays WoW? Relic. Relic at 12 points. He's only a point or 2 behind. Just needs a little bit extra, a good top 4 here. Oh, Rageblade. Probably an Ash start. Silver. Let's see. I wonder if... Oh, wait. I think it is Champion Conference. It is. It is. So the Fortune player tailored for Fortune. Duelist players. Champion Conference is really, really good because you're guaranteed Irelia. You're guaranteed set if you're playing Faded. Oh, Potty can't pick it up in time? Oh, okay. Barely. Damn, but then he missed the Malphite too. What does hashtag eProd mean? Oh, I think it's just like it's like one of the codes they mean for Tournament Realm. I'm guessing it means like esports production or something like that. So it's just like a way for them to identify that's a Tournament Realm account as opposed to like their normal live account. Because if it was like hashtag NA or something like that, it could be confused with their live account, live server accounts. Is mobile rank considered with PC leaderboards? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The only exception is if you play on a mobile game itself, like Fight for the Golden Spatula, which is China Mobile. So like yeah, it's that's all it really means. But I just gotta say one thing: if you're a mobile player and you can climb to Challenger, you are a god. Like I don't understand. I can't do it. I gave up. I'm giving up. I just don't want to play on mobile anymore. I'm done. I mean, I'll play on mobile eventually every now and then, but just it was just such a on a 4-cost meta. It's so bad. Pumping up. No item slam here. The only item you can really slam here is Gunblade. But he's on 2 loss anyways. He's on 2 loss with Kiana too. If he stammed Gunblade, he played on tier. So part of the problem with Solo is that he started off with Volibear pair, and he has a Kiana too, but his items are quite bad. And he also picked Pumping Up, which as far as I know is not particularly a really good duelist augment. Also, he's not making 10 if he holds onto his Volibear pair, and he's also not pre-leveling. Wow. Solo is lose streaking and poor. Very, very poor. Ouch. Volibear 2? No, he has to take something else. Volibear 2 with a rod. That's like a worse component as well. If it was like a vest or something, make Crown Guard on the Volibear 2. How much gold can you roll on 4-2 on mobile? Oftentimes I roll like 20 gold. Because I try to play mobile flexibly, which is bad. So I buy multiple things per shop. On mobile, you need to buy like 1 or 2 things per roll. That's it. I buy like 3 things, or like I sell things. Like you can't. Basically, the biggest friction on mobile is you can't buy and sell quickly. You can only buy. So you have to stop rolling. You have to stop rolling wide, and you have to roll very narrowly. Didn't Beery qualify a mobile last set? Yeah. Noob Owl hit Challenger on mobile. Darth Noob plays on mobile as well. Those are legitimately very impressive accomplishments. I cannot play mobile at all. I hate mobile. Okay, 4-2 augment moves. Do you get the carousel bug a lot? What's carousel bug? Pick of the litter, Aphelios 2. Okay. Tiny Titans. When is Worlds? July. Early July. I believe the first week of July. An excellent weekend of choice. The first weekend of July for USA to win its 3rd out of 4 world championships in a row. If I say so myself. How's your Chinese? Enough to make Chinese speakers laugh at how bad my accent is. I have a buddy whose APM is somehow better on mobile than PC. I mean, if you grow up playing like mobile games, or you're like in general very proficient on mobile, PC can feel weird. Okay, so Solo is going for... He's going to get Volibear now. Volibear 2. He's ready to spike. He won 2 fights. Oh. Okay, Morello, Gunblade. Morello, Gunblade, Runins. He got Tristana! Oh. And Beta got the Volibear 2. Unfortunate. Title is North America? No, she's from Japan. That's very ignorant, Wii gamer. We're talking about replay, Malala, and probably Dish Soap. 3 out of the past 4 world championships are from North America. At that point, I'm pretty sure people are just going to be like bored of NA's dominance. It's like Koreans at StarCraft. Or like the North Americans at TFT, right? I mean, that being said, is the Go to StarCraft even Korean? Or Go to StarCraft 2, rather? A lot of the same augments here. Ooh, Ethereal Blade's top middle. I don't think he's going to go for it, though. Yeah, Serral is Finnish. He's not even Korean. I mean, he has such a... I am actually surprised. If you guys want to talk about GOAT discussions in StarCraft right now, they're having like... They have these like regular discussions between Koreans and Serral, and it's like a whole stunlock talking point for Artosis. You just get him yapping for hours about it. Everyone knows Artosis the StarCraft 2 GOAT? No, he's the Hearthstone GOAT. You forgot. He won. He's the Hearthstone World Champion, the very first one. Encounter? Alawi. 8 free rerolls this turn? Levels of 7? Wow. Rolls past Ash. He's looking for Lillia. Morgana. He's gonna pick up his fortune cash out or what? Dude, he is broke. Oh my god. He is so dizzy. He is so dizzy. He is so broke. He hit away. He hit away. Lysandra. Zyra 2. Oh, he's trying to play Exalted this game. Lillia, Irelia, Diana. That's really good. I'm down for Digital to win Worlds. Me too. I'm down for him to win Worlds and then drop the mic and be like, I learned everything from TFT study hall and TFT. Even if that's not true, he just needs to say that. Because if he says that, it's infinite advertisement, even if it's not true. Because everyone just be like, everyone's gonna be like, what? What's TFT Academy? Shojin, red buff, rage blade. Probably not. You don't want rage blade in that spot. Probably just crown guard then. Have some frontline items. And it's an Annie 2. That's an Annie 2 on 6. That's an Annie 2 on 6 with 27 gold. We got hit into Eternal Winter. Or is that the rest of you? That was Yorick too. I mean, we have Annie 2 on 6. That can't be. Annie's not like the best, tank in the game. As she used to be. She's lost a step. She lost a little bit of athleticism. She had ACL surgery. But she still can hang. She can still hang. It's an insane spot. Who do you consider the best tank in the game right now? Lee Sin 2. Forbidden Idol, Death-Defying Shen. When's a new set of games? The semifinals? The semifinals start in about 7 hours? 7 hours from now? The semifinals start about 7 hours from now. 5 hours? Wait, what? It starts earlier? Dice roll 4. Oh, by the way, I got permission to co-stream the finals of DreamHack Dallas. Friday, I'm gonna be doing TSI, so I won't be able to do it. And then Saturday, I have some stuff I have to take care of. Sunday, I'll be covering the finals of DreamHack from home. Riot said it was cool. So we'll be watching who qualifies to TC 3D from it. Okay, he tailored for Annie. Here comes Relic. I was looking for Ash. Yeah, Saturday I think I'll be off because I got stuff to do. Right now my window is like I can probably do something for like 5 to 6 hours a day, and then I have to make sure to do other stuff around for the baby right now. Tactical pause. Okay, let's fast forward. This is why I love watching VODs. Instead of just sitting here wondering and twiddling my thumbs, you can just fast forward. Somehow Easy made it to 8. Somehow Easy made it to 8 despite being 0 gold at 3-3. I guess he did level to 7, so. How'd the launch from Rumble Club turn out? I have to actually sync with the team. I'm technically on paternity leave from my work there, so my conversations with them I have not really picked up much. Like, this is technically me doing stuff on my paternity leave in my free time. So I have to actually sync with the team on that. From what I've come to understand, it's growing a lot in popularity in the countries we didn't expect it to. I think it's like I think it's doing like better in Spanish-speaking countries as well as Japan, which is like kind of interesting. Is there a universally agreed upon best starter video guide to get someone into TFT who has never played before? Oh yeah, I made a video of this specifically. Someone said Disso, but I don't think Disso actually made like a complete noob guide. YouTube.com slash play TFT. Is it? There's literally a video on the TFT channel that I wrote, how to play TFT for beginners. So you could actually, I'll just link it in chat. But Riot actually had me do something on their official channel, which was fun. It's like a 8-minute guide on how to play TFT. Called Teamfight Tactics, and wondering what it was and how you can put your big brains to the test with it? Well, my name is Frodan, and I'm here to help you with just that. First, what even is Teamfight Tactics? Right, I actually explained like all of this, so you can go ahead and watch it if you want. No, it's not even paid chatter. It's on Riot's account. Nice video. Thank you. Yeah, what even is TSI? Who knows, man? It's like some digital chess weeb board strategy slot machine simulator battler strategy game, deck builder, tower defense. That's what it is. Lichbane, Gambler's Blade. And this Annie 2 is getting so much miles for Demon Hunter. He's just actually not playing Forewarning. He's playing Annie 2. It is starting to fall off a little bit. Wow. Ash 1? Ash 1 wins those? Dude. Cash out 83. Set 2 with 2 fawns. Whoa, is that good enough? I mean, that's a huge spike. If he has the gold and the items, he has set 2 and 2 fawns. That doesn't seem that. I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know. I don't know if that's good enough because I mean, set 2 is nice, but we have no items for him. I guess we have 2 crowns, and we have 2. We are +2 team size. What do we play? Like it's good. If they don't kill him in one full stage from now, he's gonna be so much stronger. But like, does he? He's at 16 HP. He has to just run into like one really cracked duelist board, and he might just lose and die. Wait a second. Oh, that was a little too close, man. That was a little too close. Woo, woo. Oh, cashed out. 2 gold, 2 golds, 2 gold, and those are upgrades. Okay. He put crowns on with no removers. He sold his set 2. Actually, I can see it. Set 2 doesn't really do enough. Man, that is ambitious. That is ambitious. He sold set. I suck at this game. Oh, hold on. Wait a second, Joey. We don't actually know if that ends up being good. That's a high risk.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
It's a very high risk.
6 month.
Medium reward payoff. Look, thank you for 6 months. And remember, it's champion conference, so he tried to tailor his board. I see. So the 2 units he's playing. Whoa. The 2 units he's playing is Azir plus Ornn. Surely, as we don't lose his Aphelios board. Wait a second. Okay, we're cracking the front line. We're good. Wait, and he cast it again. Wait a second. It's actually kind of close. Oh. Like 2 more autos. That was actually really, really close. Salted Duelist. Behemoth Drive seems like high quality units. I would probably try to play good support stuff. Like, I mean, I guess he's playing Ornn 2 Azir, which is totally fine. But if I'm playing Xayah for Dragon Lord, I'd probably play more Dragon Lord units. Like, you could probably transition to 4 Dragonlord, 4 Trick Shot. Oh. Oh my god, we're about to lose Kaisa. Oh. Okay, we have to hope Udyr 2 clears this. Holy gold, Batman. Dude, all these fights are so close. He almost loses every fight. It's so close. Okay, that's huge. Okay, I think we cleared the hurdles. I think we can win out. We just need Zaya now. We just need Zaya. It's so frustrating to play TFT when you have stuff going on, because when you take 2 patches off TFT, it feels like you're playing a new game. True. Man, if only there was like a really good learning resource for you to like figure out a way to get plugged back into the game very easily and find out like what's happening. Someone should do something about that. Okay, the thing is, you guys, you might be like, man, you sell out so much for your own stuff, but like, Dissoap is like, he doesn't sell out very much because he doesn't want to like, he doesn't want to be a broken record about those things. He just wants to play TFT and mind his own business. I have to sell out twice as hard to compensate for Dissoap. Together, we sell out just enough. All the ones out there are not good. I mean, it depends on like what you're looking for. There's plenty of people who just play TFT and they just want like a basic guide. They're not looking to do like, for me right now. I told you I was playing Super Auto Pets. I'm not looking for Super Auto Pets Academy. I'm okay with like a Mobilytics, you know. Because I don't know anything about that game. All I do is I play silly scaling stuff, like simple scaling stuff, like dragon comps. Demon Hunter's dead. Dude, Ashes in general, this lobby is very hit or miss. 5-6 augments, the latest possible augment you can get. Isn't it weird how often the duelist line gets exalted? I've been playing duelist decent amount. I swear more than 50% of those games are exalted. Yeah, it's because there's a lot of Diana plus duelist exalted, or there's a lot of like duelist plus another unit that you want to play anyway. So all you do is sack one unit for like lower value. Like in this case, it's Shen. You just play Shen instead, and you get exalted in. But you're right. Duelists are so good with exalted. It's very easy to squeeze in exalted. At this point, you gotta double down and sell out every minute. Oh man, yeah, exactly. I gotta get it tattooed on me. So every time I rip open my button down shirt, it's just painted across my chest. A picture of Pengu with TFT Academy. I was talking about more in higher elos when boards aren't predetermined, but patches and stuff affect late game and mid game board decisions so much. Yeah, but that's like the entire difficulty of TFT. Like the mid game and like figuring out all those different like fluid like decision. That's like the hardest part of the game. And so the reason why there aren't many good guides about it is because that's entirely the difficulty of TFT. Like that's the part where even at the very top levels, people are getting it wrong consistently.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
Man, it's so hard to figure out what items are good on different champions. Do you know a place I can see what items I should put on my Lee Sin?
Man, I have a tattoo on my chest that I wish I could show, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I want to keep this a PG family-friendly stream. Thank you, Arbiter. It sucks that the game changes so much patch to patch. It's funny because there's a lot of people who say the opposite, right? Like next patch, guess what, Canyon fan? Next patch, they're not changing much about the current state of the game. Next patch, people say it's a boring patch because they're not changing much. So this would be a good time to get back into it. It's like the same game now. Irelia 2. Come on, Sologesang. Sologesang, big result if he can get top 2 here. If he can get top 2, he can jump back into the top 4, I think. Or I think he might be in the top 4 or just barely out. Soraka 2. I mean, is there a comp that you guys think needs more guides on? The thing is, I did a duelist guide that I think did pretty well, or did okay. But I don't know if there's more comps that people want. Maybe I'll do one on like Lillia. Ash Wardens. Probably could do that. Lillia's kind of hard though. I'm not even that good at Lillia myself. I need to actually ask some other people, but I could put Lillia guide together maybe. When you decide to play something like 2 Nautilus or 2 Irelia instead of another unit, usually when you feel like the value of that unit can just be good regardless of the synergy. So, like in this case, if you level to 10 and you have another Irelia to play, it's like you either can play another Wukong or you play another Irelia, and like you're already playing 8 duelists, so you're benefiting from having like the 8 duelists already in. So there's different like factors that you consider. But generally, it's like usually you play 2 of the same if they already are part of your win condition. You can lean into it, as well as a unit quality thing. Like if you have a Nautilus 2, that's probably better than like a Janna 1 or something like that. Unless you're trying to play it for like 4 Dragon Lord. All kind of depends. Also, you have to think about the role of the unit. So if you are playing another Irelia, it's because you want more damage. If you're playing another Nautilus because you want AoE CC, you wouldn't play another Nautilus if they have Silver Veil or Banshee's Veil, for example. Actually, Silver Veil you might actually, because you can get the second cast, but you get what I'm trying to say. You just have to think about like what your comp needs and whether or not the adding in achieves that. All right, Fortune player 1 out. That's huge because now he's back in the game. 14 points. If he goes first again, he might be able to get 22. Looks like Solo loses, but Solo... Is he dead? Oh, he gets third because Kjaos gets good matchmaking. All right. Well, Kjaos is my homeboy as well, so it's all right. It's all good. It also depends on the currency of the game. If it's balanced and fun, players don't want patches that change it a lot. But if it's boring, then it's the opposite. And right now, it seems like people want patches that change a lot. Actually, that's not true about set 10. Set 10, people actually wanted the patch. People said set 10, they wanted to have more extreme balance thrashing because they didn't change anything for like 3 patches. They were like, man, nerf Heartsteel and change stuff about the sets. And they were like, but the numbers look good. And they're like, we don't care. So that's not always true either. I see what you're saying. I'm just saying that's not always true. Would Fortune be in a better spot if Lost Streaking was more cadenced like how Heartsteel from set 10 was? The thing about Heartsteel was just OP. Like very, 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 very OP. But it was fun. Wait, does Kjaos win this fight? Holy cow, does he beat a Fortune cracked board? Wow, the Duelist 2-star board, level 10 with the Exalted, beating a double Fond cash out Fortune 4 trick shot comp. I mean, the front line is not that good. We have Redemption. Like, we don't actually have tankiness. We're also on the wrong side, I think. Because our trick shot bounces never get to, like, Aurelia. Oh, man. Crazy. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I mean, Udyr troll, yeah, I guess he definitely didn't help, but like, man, I just feel like this board should win this this 2-star. Like he 11 streaks. Udyr gave an item to Galio. And then we potted like the Wukong and the Lee Sin were just hard to deal with, and double Rakan. Oh, you know what it is? I think this Rakan, we clump for the Rakan. Now that I'm looking at what happened, Rakan gets in here, and look at what this clump did. He actually just like hits this giant AoE. Oh, he didn't hit Kai'Sa though. Like that is a big deal though. Like this Rakan cast again. Man, this comp is straight up OP, man. It's so busted. All right, big win for Kjaos. He's back. So this is the last game. Last game, Demon Hunter potty bowl through. Easy solo Kjaos beta. It's actually anybody's game except for Relic and Daya. It's very, very unlikely that they get through unless they get first and like perfect scenario happens. All right, last game of the day. Daya. Any Daya no ace fans in the chat? Like one of my favorite animes. A little bit of a weeb. They announced a new season. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean the Udyr in general trolled, but like also was he trying to charge the QSS holder? Is that why? I don't know. All right. Wait, what portal is this? I actually don't know what the portal is. The portal looks like it might be Gold Symphony, but I can't tell that much. I only can recognize a couple of like characters of it, but I don't understand what it means. Champion conference? No, it's not champion conference. This is the portal at the top. Yeah, I don't know. Any Mandarin fluent speaker or can read Mandarin help me figure that one out? Also, my Mandarin is not strong enough to sometimes recognize like the font differences. Sometimes the font throws me off. Okay, combat caster start things off for Relic. No item slam. Let's see the encounter. Wrath of the Moon Yorick too. Ash reveals your next opponent. Big bow energy here. Shen 2. It's like one person that has Yorick 2, one person that has Shen 2. His picture makes him look like a Marvel character. Relic? Which Marvel character is that? I mean, Relic kind of has a little bit of a like a villain look to him, you know. He's got the because he's looking a little bit angry or like fierce. What up, Night Savior? How you doing, buddy? Wait, everyone has 2-star 2 cost. Haunted House. Haunted House is like pretty bad early game. or rather, it's just not that consistent early game because you can't really stack the haunted house very consistently. Wow, dude, Shen 2, Aatrox 2, Zyra 2, that's ridiculous. Bananas. Support cash into Randuin's. Potable is a Marvel character. No, he's not, man. Maybe a character in Parks and Recreation. He's a Marvel dude. Are you Potable? Are we looking at the same French dude? I haven't really been keeping up the Marvel fandom these days. We're like I think. What was the last Marvel movie I watched? I can't even remember. It feels like it's kind of like played out a little bit. I feel like they kind of went a little bit too deep. Oh, it was probably the Spider-Man movies. Into the Spider-Verse. I love what they did with the Miles Morales. Actually, that probably is like one of my favorite movies, period. Like not even just animated and Marvel movies. I think it's just like I think Into the Spider-Verse was like super good. I just really love that movie. These days though, I'm not really like a movie guy. I watch a lot of like shows. I still yet to watch like a bunch of the other stuff that like people watch. Like I didn't watch like Oppenheimer. I didn't watch like Barbie. Fun fact: my boss at work, his brother was in Oppenheimer or worked on Oppenheimer. I don't know if he was in the movie or he was produced. Like he worked on the filming part of it, but like my boss did work. He had to go to the premiere, like the red carpet premiere. It was pretty cool. Wrath of the Moon. Gonna sell. Try to make gold. Makes sense. He can actually play. Yeah, he has adaptive as well. The thing about Elune is I think that Elune just has a really awkward matchup into Duelist because you can't kill Lee Sin quickly and then you just kind of get run over. I think Umbral is actually good. I just think Duelists are too powerful and it's a bad matchup for them. Before people caught on that Duelists were really, really good, I think Umbral was doing well in the meta. You're not a full-time content creator? No, I am not. I work as the head of marketing at a games development company in Seattle. Oppenheimer is probably one of the greatest pieces of audio-visual design ever. The way the movie operates sound is mind-boggling. Guys, so don't watch it on like my phone. Tier? Oh god, when we're playing snipers? Ooh, okay. It's a Lillia game now? I mean... Oh, Spark blue buff. It's a Syndra game. It's a Syndra game. Oh, thank you. I got pizza. Amazing. I heard you guys want to hear something? I saw something that was trending that apparently on Apple Music they use like a different audio thing. I'm not a audio technical guy, so is it like a codec or something or encoder? And it just songs just sound better on Apple Music than Spotify. Is that true? If no one said it yet, the portal is all 3 augments gold. That's what I thought. I thought it was Golden Symphony. Dude, this pizza's great. Okay, support item. Randuin's. Yeah, everything else is kind of mid. I don't think you'd want Ascension even if you're trying to play into Fated and Syndra, because part of the reason what makes your comp strong is the fact that you naturally ramp over time with the power of Syndra. So you kind of just want to make your front line strong. I think I like the Randuin's better. He's playing Kha'Zix. Is Kha'Zix the strongest here? Oh, because he's trying to amplify the power of Kindred. Oh my god. Oh my god, this Kindred kind of did so much work. Wait, does he win this fight? Woo! Encounter. Oh, I'll win or I'll lose? I want to hear it. Someone said that to me at work the other day. Couldn't believe that, but Google confirms. Think it's the paid Apple Music though. I see. Yeah, I don't know enough. I'm not like an audiophile or whatever they call, but I'm pretty sure that music on Apple Music is like higher quality than it is on Spotify. So if you have like the Dolby surround, like the whole big setup, and you care about that, just give it a try. Gotta get TFT Study Hall on Apple Music. I mean, I think it's on Apple Podcasts. So I'm not sure. Okay, how many people were right? I wish there's an easy way to tell who wagered yes and who wagered no, like who win and lose. Ash with the bow on Carousel for Relic. Wait, is Relic playing Ash though? He's playing Faded. No Syndra. I'm kind of pulling for Relic here. I want him to go through it as America's representative. He represents us. Like internally, we shit on how imbalanced NA and Latam and Brazil is, but that's like internally. Externally, America's best region in the world, you know, like better than CN, better than APAC, better than EMEA. So like he represents us. So he's got to get through, because then more America's players get through and EMEA players get eliminated. Dude, this Kiana got so lost in this fight. Come on, Kindred 2, nice. Bash cast again. No anti-heal yet. Everything's just healing. I think he took the Kindred for Kindred 2, but it's not strong enough, unfortunately. I think Relic's board is too weak in the early mid game right now, unfortunately. What kind of pizza you order? We got Supreme Pizza. I love Supreme Pizza. With like obviously cheese, but pepperoni, sausage, onions, peppers, mushrooms. Frodan, what is your website called? I forgot. Thank you, chat. Red buff Shojin Kaisa. That is definitely not ideal, but he's using it as a transition point, so getting out of it pretty soon. Milk, would you ever be willing to come onto the TFT Study Hall podcast? Actually, the thing about that podcast is we kind of need people who can articulate their ideas very clearly.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
You would have to use more than emotes to communicate your ideas. Milk says, wait, I feel like I think a lot. Okay. Horn Frogs, thank you for the 8 months. Extra editing might be required? Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be a funny episode, but I think the thing about study hall is it's kind of a serious try hard podcast. You know, it's not it's like 95% educational and 5% humor. Not even. We just like we like the humor in it is like we chuckle about random TFT facts. I'll come on one day when I win regionals. You already won regionals, didn't you? Didn't you win set 6 regionals? I meant again. Oh. When are you going to come on to the Don't Talk If You Don't Know podcast? Is that when you win regionals again? Here we go. Augment choice. Relic. Faded Emblem. Let's go. What about Sologesang? He's rolling. He found one Lee Sin. No, he found no Lee Sins. Relic is a very good player. He's from Venezuela, Latam, or wherever he's from. Yeah, he's from Venezuela, I think. He's from Latam North, which is one region that's getting pummeled in the data, but he's one of the exceptions, you know? Dude, this sucks. 8 Rivens, 8 Shens. How many Zyros? 5 Zyros? Is he playing 2 Zyro 2s? Maybe add in Bryce. We could maybe have Bryce as a guest star. You already captured the best piece of stream content ever with Milk asking how unplanned pregnancy works. I mean, I think people just want to just hear from top players. So, but Milk said he already declined going to the podcast anyways. Latin American North, they've got what? Seokun, Mbappe, they got Relic. They got players. But Latin South is the region that has, you know, Michael, Fritz, Altanahue, Cheche. List goes on and on. Is Malala qualified? Yeah, Malala won. He got second in Group C. Is this 2-star? I think this is 2-star 3 cost. Mbappe at TFT? Yeah, I know, right? No, that's his username. His username is you have to think I'm making it up. Mbappe. Look, man, this guy made it to the Reckoning Championship in set 5. Seokun Mbappe from Colombia, as you guys might know, the famous the famous Mbappe. Turned down a huge bag to play TFT. Okay, we hit Zyra 3. Looks like he was at 8 Zyros. Zyra 3, Shen 3, Aatrox 3. He should definitely win some of these fights. No, if Solo goes 8th, I think he might not make it. I'd be very sad. One Alunov.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
La Vie Enterroir. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Thank you for the okay, by the way, I'm pretty ignorant about soccer culture and how good soccer players are at soccer. So can anybody tell me about how good Mbappe is at soccer? Like, where does he rank right now these days? Like top 5, top 3? How good at soccer is the soccer player Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. Top 3? Top 5? That's not what I heard. I almost said top 3. All I heard was a dude turned down like hundreds and hundreds of $1,000,000 to leave to go play for a Saudi club. Assuming that's even true. Or is that... Do I have my stories mixed up? I thought he got offered like a big deal and he turned it down. His attitude caused some problems and oh, he's young, but he's got an attitude problem. I see. He's already earning so much, who cares? Well, let me tell you something about rich people, Lelouch. You know who cares? Rich people. Rich people, for some reason, for a lot of people, it's not true for everyone, but a lot of people, having a lot of money isn't about money. It's like a high score. It's like LP. Like, why? let me ask you something. Demasi and Raptor, why do you care about LP so much? You already have like 1,500. Just stop playing. It's like, well, I just keep playing. I just want to grind. For them, it's not about a money thing anymore. It's like a personal high score in life. For them, being like only a one-time billionaire or a two-time billionaire, that's Disneyland. What are these Lee Sin items? Warmog's Gunblade. Warmog's Gunblade Lee Sin. But he has Combat Caster, Keepers, and Extended Duel. Perfect augments. I think those are like the 3 best augments alongside Unified Resistance. No, Sologesang's dead. Does that mean he doesn't make it? Solo might not make it in points. I knew someone who owned 3 houses and made $1 million a year complaining about how poor they were because they knew someone who made $2 million a year. You guys, if I made $2 million a year, we're gonna party every co-stream. Like it'll be fun. It'll be lit. But I'm not there yet. Maybe one day. we would do the co-stream on a yacht. You know, it'd be the TFT cruise, and I would host regionals on my yacht. Okay, I probably couldn't afford to do that, but I would consider doing that. Full completed item. I'll get rich off of TFT stocks. You guys know you know the website I showed you the other day, TFT stocks, where you can bet on, or not bet, but you could buy stocks of players in their LP. I'll be a billionaire there first. Relic's still in it. Okay, can Relic get can he get? He needs a first, I think. Loki, he can do it. He needs to hit Syndra 2 though. Syndra 2 and a good item. Oh no, not this guy. No. Wait a second. The set's in the back line. Also, it's Umbral Ash. Kind of weird. Oh no, he just has an Umbral splashed in. Okay. A private TFT island where your currency is your LP. That sounds terrible, man. Wealthiness is all about relativity. If you have hundreds of millions and all your friends have billions, you would feel poor. What do you mean you can't afford a couple of islands? That is also true. I would probably not want to necessarily stuck with Fred. I would try to find the billionaire or the millionaires who are all cool with being millionaires and nothing else. Or not pressure me into feeling I have to be a billionaire. But you're right. It's kind of like how some people who are like 1200 LP get made fun of by people who are like 1700 LP. Relic? Oh, top 3. Okay. Okay, I can see it. I can see it. The comeback. Third item for Syndra plus Syndra 2 and then hit set 2. I see the vision. The comeback. Yo, if Relic clutches this out, this guy might be... this guy already might be the Latin America North GOAT. Because in all honesty, they're averaging a 5.6, so it's not that hard. But, I mean, he proven all the doubters
Man, I'm
wrong.
getting more dogged again.
He checked in for 13 months. Social status is strictly by LP. I feel like that would be a very dysfunctional society. He hit set 2. He hit set 2. Ghost fights. I don't know how he does against the Zyra board. He might lose. Kind of depends on how fast the Ghostly can stack with the Haunted House. Like I haven't seen much of Haunted House. Relic's on a streak. Isn't Faded Drag kind of bad to Ghostly? Historically, Ghostly was a counter to Faded because of the way it ramped, but then Ghostly got like nerfed a little bit, and then they buffed Ghostly. So, and then they buffed Kindred. Then they buffed Syndra and then nerfed Syndra. And then they nerfed Ornn twice. So there's a lot, and then they also changed the Omnivamp. It's the matchup is different now. The matchup is different. Before, the reason why the matchup was the way it was because you used to pair Thresh and Set, and you would try to stall out. But now you try to pair Syndra and Ahri and go for maximum burst. It's just a different matchup now. Okay, wait a second. Okay, I'm feeling the comeback. Can anyone taste it? The clutchness in the air. Faye is much more of a burst comp. Yeah, because you're pairing like insane amount of AP on Syndra. She does technically ramp and scale, but she wants to burst a lot with a bunch of HP in front line. Okay, big time gut check. Win this game. If you win this fight, I think we win the game. Oh, there's too much stuff. The Zyra can't cut it fast enough. Whoa! 2 HP. I think we may have won the game. Gauge for sets. I'm down. Dude, if remember, if Relic wins, clutches and goes through, he's representing all of us in North America as well, because we're all unified. We unify for one common goal: beat EU again. All right. Okay, side swap. Is he the only NA? No, we all 3 of our NA players got through. It's just why not one more? Why not one more? And I'm down to push this narrative that LATAM is improving as a region because of the combined Americas, you know? Like Relic has gotten a lot better because he's training on NA. Because he's training with NA. 2 Zephyrs. That's good for us. I think. Because it's Easy's playing... Like, I think we're much more mobile relative to Easy. Because, like, the snipers, they don't really have much they can move. I guess you could, like, swap, Ashe, but you lose a lot of DPS. Relic plays on NA. I know. I've queued into him a couple times. Have you seen GSC? I gotta admit, I haven't watched much other regions as much as I want to lately because I've just been busy with the pregnancy stuff. What you guys have seen on stream is basically what I watch right now. I'm not watching anything off stream. I watch streams, but I don't watch like tournaments that much off stream. Okay, yeah, Set did a big cast. Yeah. Is that a win? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Vamos, let's go. Okay, Relic. Wait, does he clutch a top 4? Look at that Marvel looking villain / hero. He's the protagonist. He's not the villain. That's my Marvel Latam North whatever he is. Protagonist. Amazing. Okay, this is the comp. Does he get through? Woo! He made it by 1 point. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh! It came at the cost of Kjaos. That sucks, actually. And Solo. Those are 2 people I was rooting for. But, dude, he clutched it out. Damn. He needed a first. And he made a massive comeback. Let's go! Woo! Nice. You love to see it, man. You love to see it. Where's my crowd clap? Here it is. Yeah! Vamos! Wow. All right, let me see the groups. Someone said the groups are kind of nuts. Here are all the group. This is the winners of all the games today. So we had Lillia win, Duelist win, Duelist win, Duelist win, and Faded. You know what? Duelist is pretty good. Duelist is pretty good. Let me see. These are interviews or what? Do they have? They have interviews with the players at advance. Do they have the groups or what? Oh, they are. They're doing the groups live. Okay. Oh, they do a group draw. Oh, what the heck? Wait, this is so much more hype. Why don't we do this? Okay, so they have Demon Hunter and RY in different groups. Man, I've been advocating for this for a while in Americas. I would love to see group draws. Okay, America Ego Illusions. Group A. Let's see it. Replay Group A. Oh, 2 Americas players. I mean, we're bound to hit each other because there's multiple Americas players. Pade Ball. D2. Oh, there's 4 groups. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I guess they messed up. He's Diamond 2? No, he's not. Oh, these are the seed numbers. Oh, I messed up. Yeah. So Pade Ball in Group A. Snowy. Okay. So far, it looks like Group B is harder. At the moment. On paper. No! What? Replay and Milan in the same group? Oh, that's not good. Dude, I love that they have like little their eggs that they're in right now as well. Qingro. Dude, no diss up. Please. This shit is so rigged. What is it? Wait, what? Oh, what the hell? Come on. Oh, my. You gotta be kidding me. What? No. I need to see the eggs, man. I need to see. This guy is hiding all his eggs behind the thing, man. Let me see where you draw it from. Oh, my. You gotta be kidding me. 3 CN, 3 NA players. What is this? I demand an audit. Okay, also, I realize there's so many CN players. Dude, there's 5 CN players in Group A. I guess there's 8 of them, so there's a lot of them. They're bound to run into each other. Are they giving us Relic as well? Coco? I mean, it's okay. That's a free top 7. Not because of Let's Coco, because America's number 1. Just put Relic in Group A, please. Just not him. All right. Okay. All of LATAM in Group A, and I think the last player. Who's the last player? CN. Bintum. Whoa, we have Bintum. Oh, okay, it's a free top 6. You know what? All right, it's okay. We can go 1 through 3 in this group. Not bad. We got we have Bintum in Group B, free top 6. It's all good. 1, 2, 3. Disso, Malala, replay. What do you think about the extra point format for first? I mean, I think it's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but it does switch. Like, for example, it led to a really dramatic moment where Relic made a big comeback. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Nah, Bintum's a good player. I just don't want him to beat NA. He can beat every other region, but I don't want to beat NA. Yeah. Yap all you want, man. Yap all you want. I demand a recount. Okay, so hope you guys had fun with the groups. This is, by the way, why I advocate drawing groups or picking groups. I think it's much more fun and exciting that way, but that's what I personally believe. A couple things before you guys go. That's it for today's stream. The first thing is I can go ahead and show you guys actually. On TFT Academy, we released a new podcast episode for TFT Study Hall. This one is we talk about itemization. We have Kuramax as our guest. We talk about Titans Cup meta. It came out yesterday or 2 days ago. So definitely check that out. Especially because pretty soon it's going to be old content. So check it out before it becomes, while it's fresh out of the oven, you know? Because if we're talking about the previous patch meta, it's not that interesting once the new patch is like out and settled. So it's fun. It's about an hour long and it's audio only. There's no video component for it. And if you see this podcast on Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating and follow the podcast, because that way the algorithm checks it out. The other thing that I want to announce before I go is also we have our podcast for this Friday with Don't Talk If You Don't Know. It's going to be me, Bryce, Mr. Keen, and Penny Andrew to review the cup as well with these top performing players. And the reviewed episodes, if you've never seen them, are just to get to know some of the people who did well in the cups. And the preview are supposed to be for like people who are well known. So we're gonna have Keen and Penny Andrew, who both got, I think, top 10. So it'll be fun. It'll be Friday, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, which is right now it's 6, so like 2.5 hours rewinded. It's gonna be on Friday. So it'll be fun times. It'll be Friday with me, Bryce, and Keen and Penny Andrew. Be careful. Penny Andrew could be a little bit spicy. I have no doubts. Keen's gonna be a great guest. I think so as well. All right, tomorrow I'll see you guys back for the semifinals of TSI. Then Friday is going to be the finals. Saturday I'm going to take a break. Sunday I'm going to be back for DreamHack Dallas finals. DreamHack Dallas is the sub-regional event. I got permission from Riot to co-stream the finals of that, so I'll be back on Sunday after a Saturday break. So I'll see you guys then. I'm going to raid my buddy T-Lides. Go check out T-Lides. He's now a partner, so you can celebrate by giving him your Twitch Prime. He's just a poor TFT player. All right, thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.